Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Season Keepers, the show where the only two people we recommend keeping for the season is us. My name's Matt, aka Clean Sheet Wipeout.
My name's James, aka SK James FPL.
How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, pretty good. Good week in FPL for me.
Yes, not too bad. I mean, we'll obviously get onto it. There was one key player that you own and that I don't own, that really turned the tides, didn't he? But
It did.
it was nice to have 10 games this week. Plenty of goals, lots to play for. We've obviously had one confirmed relegation now, and given the technical issues we've had over the last few weeks, which is probably why we've not been releasing our pods, I'm hopefully sorted some of them. But put it in layman's term, my computer's been a shit the last few weeks. So sorry guys, but we're back now, and hopefully going to get cracking. So James, as always, first game up: Newcastle 0, Liverpool 1.
Yeah, a game which I guess due to a lot of people captain Salah, I was actually quite happy with.
Yeah.
Due to him obviously being benched. I didn't captain him because I thought he might get benched or rotated.
Fucking fuming.
Just based off a hunch that he'd want to prioritise the Champions League or just keep him fresh. So that did pay off. A bit frustrating for me, who owns Alexander Arnold, and I don't own Van Dijk, so I've kind of missed out on a clean sheet there. Whereas I'm pretty sure you do own Van Dijk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they did what they needed to do, and obviously Newcastle are much improved now. So I think Liverpool will actually be quite happy with this win.
I actually don't own Van Dijk. I own Robertson.
Oh, you did own Van Dijk.
I did previously, and then Wildcard,
Yeah.
which again we'll come on to. But yeah,
Right.
you could have shared that hunch with me, before the deadline, mate, about Salah, because
Mate, I ain't gonna do that.
I was desperate to see if there was any early team leaks because I was worried about it, and annoyingly, I was in a group and we were chatting, and quite a few of us were saying, Son could be a good 1 week punt for this, keep the money in the bank as a wild carder, and then go back to Salah. And it would have been easy. And I don't have the value tied up in Salah that some other people do because I've come off and gone back on again. So I could have done that. And obviously, we'll talk about the Spurs game later, but that decision has cost me quite a lot of points. But Liverpool, as you say, got the job done. And it was a tricky game against Newcastle. Obviously, an unexpected goal scorer in Naby Keita. Obviously, Jota got the assist there, and he's another one of those that I'm expecting to be rotated between now and the end of the season. Yeah, like you said, between Champions League, which they play tonight, don't they, at time of recording? So
They do.
hopefully get this done beforehand and get it out later. But yeah, that could be a real game changer there. And I'm expecting Klopp to potentially rest a couple tonight. Hopefully the likes of, say, Robertson could get a rest tonight, because if he doesn't, I'm concerned for the double. And yeah, as a Robertson owner now, I'd be worried he doesn't play both, given we've just seen both Trent and Salah get a rest at the weekend.
Yeah, I think Simicast could definitely step up. He's obviously shown his quality when he's stepped in before, so I reckon he could probably start tonight.
Fingers crossed.
So that would be good news for you. On to the next game, which was Aston Villa 2, Norwich 0. I see your wild card. I think it might have even been triple Villa, mightn't it?
Yes. Yeah, I've gone triple because of the doubles on 36 and 37. And I'm one of those that had the wild card and bench boost in hand, but I don't have a free hit. So it made sense to load up on the game week 37 players. And yeah, my triple went Watkins, Matty Cash, and Coutinho. So obviously got a return from 2 out of the 3, which I was pleased by. And yeah, this Villa result relegates Norwich.
Yeah, it does. And obviously, I think, wow, we'll come on to Watford later. They're all but done as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd been coming for Norwich, and yeah, they're very much becoming the modern day West Brom, sort of yo-yo in between the divisions, and I expect to see them in the Premier League again in the following season.
The big question, James, is will Norwich ever play Fulham again?
Probably not. No, they just kind of waving to each other
They
as
do.
they go up and down.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? And yeah, I think the big turning point in this game was that Danny Ings substitution. Obviously, Bailey went off injured again. Danny Ings came on, and yeah, he's then assisted Ollie Watkins and got himself a goal. So yeah, he's really turned the tides for Gerrard there. And given Bailey's injury and given the impact that Ings had, I wouldn't be surprised to see him starting alongside Watkins this weekend.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Because they obviously double in 36 and 37. I
Yeah,
don't have any chips. I am looking at the likes of Ollie Watkins. May even replace Dennis. Yeah, Dennis has a double, but it's not exactly been great.
nah.
Obviously,
If you've got the
did get
money,
returns
Watkins.
against City, but I just don't have any faith in him. And sometimes he gets benched as well.
Agreed. And like you said, you're obviously covering 36 and 37 then. And yeah, they've got Liverpool at home as the second fixture of this double. It's not the best. It's Burnley away, who are obviously on a bit of form now, and Liverpool at home. I'm not expecting masses of points, but they could potentially get a clean sheet at Burnley. They could nab a goal. That it's the 37 fixtures, the home against Palace and then home against Burnley, that I think are the ones that are definitely targetable. And I'm just hoping Coutinho finally decides to turn up again, because he's gone missing for the last 6-7 weeks at least. And I punted on him because I felt that he could be a good differential. He's still not massively owned. There's been quite a few wild cards, but he's still only 12.9%. So yeah, if he goes off in either one of these doubles, that could be really helpful.
Yeah, I hope he goes off the pitch.
Fuck off. And the only other player I think worth talking about is Pookie. There was a decision, and I made the one myself. Between Pookie and Nketiah. I'm hoping, obviously, yeah, Norwich are relegated, but I think Pookie will still play. They haven't really got anything to play for now. They might just go out there a bit of freedom. They've got West Ham at home, Leicester away. I don't think it's too bad a double, particularly if Leicester have the rise on see the Europa League, and depending on that result on Thursday, could depend on the type of rotation they do over their double. So I have.
You still have Pookie?
Yeah, I punted on him. I went
Okay.
Pookie instead of Nketiah, and obviously this week, yeah, he got two, Nketiah got one, so I'm already double his points. But yeah, I just fancied keeping Timo Pookie. I thought he deserves to be in my team to the end of the season now.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right then, moving on to a game that I was obviously in attendance, and it's a shame I'm wearing this top really. It was Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 2.
Yeah, I didn't bench James Ward-Prowse this week after his haul the previous week, and yeah, this time, yeah, got an assist. Very happy with that. Romeo, a rare goal. He did
About
actually look
time.
threatening against Burnley.
Yeah,
A couple of times from a corner.
should have scored twice.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a shame for us to lose this one, but our season is kind of, well, I hope, dead and buried.
Yeah, it is.
But
100%.
obviously, people are talking.
Nah.
Are those on 40 points safe?
Yeah.
I
Yeah, we're
I
fine.
think they probably are, but I guess there is a case where Everton could win a lot of games, Burnley could win a lot of games, Leeds could win a couple of games, and then we would go down if we obviously lost.
They could, yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, there is every chance there, but I just can't see it happening. And
bloody hope not.
well, I genuinely, I believe the players believe they're safe as well, which is why we're getting these kind of performances, because it's been dreadful. And yeah, we saw a bit of a resolute performance against Arsenal. I thought, okay, we're actually going to put in some dogged defending, show a bit of vigor and tenacity up top. But again, it's just gone downhill again. Obviously, that defeat to Burnley, and then yeah, this home defeat again, last minute winner. We're used to fucking seeing those at St Mary's, but yeah, typically it was Zaha came off the bench and then scores in the 92nd minute. That was a real killer. I said to my old man that I go to the games with beforehand, I'll take a draw against Palace because they're a good team. And we're basically shaking hands on it and about to leave the ground, waiting for the final whistle, and yes, Zaha goes and scores. So that was frustrating, but I think Zaha, out of all the players, is one that I'm potentially looking at for game week 37. Obviously, we're looking at 36 now, but they've got the double, and I think their double's pretty tasty. Villa away and Everton away, and the likes of Zaha could probably play quite a key part in some FPL decisions over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's a fair shout. I've had a little look at him. He's at a similar price point to James
Yeah.
Ward-Prowse. Also, Saka as well is a
Yep.
similar price point. So potential people you could move off of onto Zaha, and he looks dangerous.
Yeah, and just for those that keep DMing me about is Broja nailed, is Broja gonna play?
But who cares? He's shit.
We're not playing to his strengths at all, and obviously you've seen the last couple of games. He's been rotated. The likes of Shane Long is getting a game. I think that basically proves what Hasenhüttl really thinks of the end of this season. To be honest, and I'd still like to keep him, but if we do keep him, we really have to stop him being out wide, linking up on the edge of the fucking technical area and looking to drive in or pick crosses up. He should be the one that's in the box, and he's just not getting there at the moment.
Yeah, being out wide it isn't working for him.
No.
Yeah, I'm not going to move him on in FPL just because how cheap he is. I don't get any value out of him really. So
No.
he's just gonna sit there.
Would you consider? Depends, I guess, whether you got the budget, which we can come on to later. Would you consider a move from say Broja to Nketiah?
How much is Nketiah?
I believe early sixes. Let me just double check. If you want to start chatting about the next game.
Broja's like 5.4, so I'd need funds to do that. Oh, obviously I could drop down to one of the 4.5 forwards, I think.
Nketiah is 5.5 million.
Okay, similar price to Broja then. Yeah. So yeah, it's a possibility because I do want him out my team.
I think that could be quite a good move. I think he keeps his place.
Yeah, potentially. On to the next one then, which is Watford 1, Burnley 2, another crucial game in the relegation battle. Pretty
Massive.
much cemented Watford's relegation. It's all but mathematical. They were obviously they were winning, and a great comeback by Burnley at the end. Really,
Yep.
Jack Cork, a rare goal for him, a diving header. Used to play for us. Great player, puts in 100% every time, and Burnley have just been so impressive recently.
Yeah, no, 100%. It was one hell of a turnaround. Did you see the photos of Roy Hodgson?
Yeah, he looked like a mafia boss.
Just sat there wearing his sunglasses.
As if he was in Scarface or something.
Fucking hilarious. Love it. I don't know why he's doing what he's doing, but yeah, that was quite amusing.
Going down in style.
Yeah, 100%. Really took me by surprise. But yeah, it's just that was a real weird one. Do you think Burnley is safe?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
I think they're going to do it.
Safe's a bit of a... Like, Everton have been playing very well. I feel like Leeds are most at risk, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. I was going to come on to that. But yeah, I think Leeds are definitely a risk. And it's weird because, obviously, with the postponements, the way it's fallen, Villa have a huge part to play in Burnley's survival. Obviously, in the space of 12 days, they play them twice, home and away. So that's quite amusing and definitely something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, for sure. As for Watford, if you're on someone like Dennis, it's probably a hold for this week, isn't it? With Palace away, Everton at home.
Wow, I'm thinking of getting rid of him, aren't I?
Yeah, it's...
I did like the fixtures, but then I feel like, who would I rather have in my team? Would I rather have Dennis or would I rather have Ollie Watkins? I feel like I'd rather have Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, if you've got the budget, probably, given the two doubles.
I'd get that from basically taking James Ward-Prowse down to a Brownhill, who's at 4.3.
Would you really want to make that move? I guess if you bench,
yeah, I'm not going to be paying Prowse anyway.
Yeah, true. And you're not
against Brentford, and then the fixtures like Liverpool. It's like nah.
Yeah,
no, thank you.
And you don't have bench boost, do you? So
no,
that's fair. It's because I'm thinking of my bench boost head. But yeah, no, that's fair. If you're looking at it and you've got the transfers, even if you take a -4, I think it's probably worth it.
Yeah, agreed.
Jumping on then to what I thought was quite a surprising result, and quite detrimental to Wolves' challenge or attempt to at least get some form of European football next season. It was Wolves 0, Brighton 3.
Yeah, big surprise. Did not see this one coming at all. Credit to Brighton, very good performance. probably the hardest to predict team in the league. I don't know if they're going to grind out a 1-0 win, they're going to get battered, or this is going to happen, a 3-0 away win. It's just a very inconsistent team with sort of inconsistent performers, the likes of Trossard, um, maybe even Welbeck are quite inconsistent. And it just means you never really kind of go for their assets,
No.
but you're always kind of seeing the occasional points come in from them.
Yeah, no, for sure. And obviously McAllister missed a pen to start with, and then he got a second pen after Welbeck was fouled. Put it in the same corner, and Sarr didn't quite get a strong enough hand to it, and McAllister thankfully saved it there. But yeah, it could have very easily been 2 pen misses from McAllister in that first half, and that would have been horrendous for his confidence.
Yeah, yes, it would have been. But yeah, I think both of these teams' seasons are essentially done now, and maybe Wolves have just switched off temporarily for this game.
Genuinely think they have, whereas Brighton seem to have found a bit of form, playing for a bit of pride, and looking good for next season. Moving on to another one of the big games then, and a game that obviously City needed to win following that Liverpool win earlier in the afternoon. Could have been a very tricky affair away at Leeds. They're a tough opponent. They gave them, I think Leeds took 4 points off of them last season. But yeah, thankfully City got the job done for all those Manchester fans, and it was Leeds 0, Man City 4.
Yeah, very strong display from City. I kind of did fancy Leeds to get a goal in this one, hence me benching Laporte because I had Cancelo and Laporte. I didn't fancy the double up just in case, obviously, it got wiped out. But having said that, obviously, it would have turned out to be a good decision. Yeah, strong performance from City. Kind of weird goal scorers: Ake, Rodrigo, and Fernandinho and Jesus. Maybe Jesus the least surprising out of those, but
Yeah.
yeah, they can get goals from sort of all over the pitch. And
Yeah,
obviously, you brought Foden in on your wild card, and
I
that paid
did.
off.
Thankfully, I mean, there was a big decision, Foden, or do I try and squeeze in the likes of De Bruyne, but it was just impossible to have 2 big premiums in midfield and get enough of a depth to make a bench boost worth it. I just couldn't do it. Whereas Foden's price, I think it's an easy question there. 7.8 million. There's no doubt of me putting him in the team, and I just think he's key to whether they're playing at the moment. And yeah, he might see slightly reduced minutes against Newcastle, depending on how far their performance against Madrid goes tomorrow. If it goes all the way to extra time, we might see rotation. But as Liverpool have just seen, Newcastle are no easy opponent. So I'd be very surprised if Pep takes his foot off the gas slightly there, because if he's gonna start to rotate 4 or 5 players, that could be detrimental to their season. If they get and at home draw 1 with Newcastle, he's going to want to get the game done early, and then he can rest these players. So I'd expect Foden to start, but obviously keep an eye on. I think it's Emma Jump the Wave. She obviously does the predictions, and then Luke DeSable obviously does a really good thread on City every single week. So well worth keeping an eye on there.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think that's a banana skin waiting to happen Newcastle, so I'd expect a relatively strong team.
Big time. And then obviously Leeds themselves have the double, but it's away at Arsenal and at home against Chelsea. If you didn't have them, and neither of us do, are you tempted to look at someone like Rafinha, or is it just a skip?
Yeah, I'm not looking at that, I don't think.
Nah, agreed. I'm not quite sure where Leeds are, but given the way that Burnley and Everton are performing, I think Leeds might have to win a game pretty soon.
Yeah, big time.
And it's Arsenal, Chelsea, Brighton at home, and then Brentford. Those last 2 games could be key to their survival.
Yeah, agreed.
Right then, jumping on to the Sunday fixtures then, mate. And it was one hell of a result for the Toffees. It was Everton 1, Chelsea 0.
Yeah, fantastic result. It was very sort of reminiscent of I don't know if it was the Newcastle game, basically where Everton went ahead and they just sort of held the lead, defended well, defended like giants. Pickford in particular, that save where he basically had to run across the entire goal to keep it in. Yeah, just incredible. Very impressed with him. He was leading. He was shouting at them to get out. yeah, very good display from Everton, and yeah, big win for Frank Lampard.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm not Pickford's biggest fan in the world, but I think the performance that he put in there was exceptional and really kept Everton in it. And frustratingly, the man that scored sat second on my bench. It was one Richarlison.
Yeah, I saw he was in your wild card, and then I saw he was on your bench, and it sort of made me smile a little bit.
Oh,
But
it's so frustrating.
yeah, you weren't going to play him, I don't think, at home against Chelsea, as well as Everton have been
No,
playing.
no, not at all. I didn't expect them to get the win. I thought they'd give them a good performance like they did against Liverpool, but I thought Chelsea would come good. But it really does seem that Chelsea's sole focus now this season is on that League Cup final.
Yeah, agreed.
So obviously the next game we want to talk about then, James, is a big result for Spurs in the top four race. It was Spurs 3, Leicester 1.
Yeah, absolutely delighted with this one. Obviously, our captain Son couldn't have gone much better with the Salah captaincy going the other way. It was a dream, really. What really did surprise me actually was Kulusevski. So obviously he started on the bench.
Did, yeah.
So I was expecting to get, I don't know, a sub in. I was almost annoyed that he came off the bench, but then that quickly dissipated when he managed to get 2 assists.
Yeah, it seemed like Lucas Moura was very ineffective, and then obviously Conte takes him off, brings Kulusevski on, and I've seen so many people on Twitter, Spurs fans, non-Spurs fans, singing his praises, being what a difference he made to that team, and obviously picking up 2 assists, both for Sonny, and it was frustrating for me. I was out at the time, so I wasn't watching this game live, and I got the notification through to say Kane goal, Son assist, and I was like, oh yeah, typical, here we go, it's going to be a bloodbath. Didn't check my phone again until I got home, and then saw that Son had an absolute monster haul. So for fuck's sake, like this is why I tweeted about it on Saturday, because I saw a lot of people on Wildcard and stuff talking about how good their rank was, obviously after double City defense and all that stuff, and I was sitting pretty. I think I shot up to about 11k, and I was like, well, tomorrow I'm fucked because I've got no Chelsea, I've got no Spurs, so something is going to bite. And typical, it was Son.
Yeah, devastating, really.
Frustrating.
Yeah, frustrating for you, I'd imagine. I was a little bit annoyed with the sort of injury time clean sheet wipeout with Iheanacho because I've got Davies off my bench.
Yeah.
So it would have been a clean sheet. So it was a shame to see that one wiped out. But yeah, I was still obviously very happy.
Yeah, understandably so. I think Spurs themselves, it looks a tough double game week on paper. Liverpool away, Arsenal at home. But I think Conte can probably get them up for these 2 big games, particularly that North London derby. So I wouldn't be surprised again if Son and Kane cause me some damage.
Yeah, I think the Arsenal fixture is a good fixture that I'd fancy them against Arsenal, as well as Arsenal have been playing. I think that's a tasty one.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously talking about Arsenal, that's the next game, mate. And 2 very surprising goal scorers for Arsenal. It was West Ham 1, Arsenal 2.
Yeah, very surprising indeed. Obviously, the 2 centre backs scoring for Arsenal. I think it's Holding's first Premier League goal,
was,
or
yeah.
first, it was interesting. But no, Saka obviously did start in the end. There are a few question marks about him. He was flagged in the week, but he started. He's been proving to be excellent value, and I'd imagine he's going to be 7.5 at least next season, especially with him being on pens.
Yeah.
Could be as high as 8, maybe even 8.5 if they're going to be mean.
I think it'd be a similar price to what Mount is.
Yeah, I think he was 7.5 or 8.
I think so, yeah.
At the start of the season. Yeah, so Arsenal have been very impressive. Credit to West Ham, they actually did better than I thought they were going to do.
They didn't rotate as much either.
Yeah, didn't rotate as much. Few people that I thought were going to miss out actually ended up playing, but even so, I think they did well. Obviously, they've got their eyes on the Europa League.
Yeah, big time. And obviously, Jared Bowen was one of those that I thought would miss out, which is why I dropped him on wildcard. And I dropped him because he doesn't have the double either in 36, albeit Norwich away, but again, depending on their travels and how their Europa League fixture goes on Thursday, they might not give a shit if they get to the final there. Bowen, I would not be surprised if Bowen doesn't play at all on Sunday. Given they're so focused, then would be that final.
Yeah, obviously, it gets them into the Champions League through winning the trophy.
Yeah.
So they're going to pour everything into that, I think.
Definitely. And then obviously the final game, it was last night, Monday Night Football. Man United assets are long gone for me, but two of the biggies returned this time. It was Man United 3, Brentford 0.
They did. So those that are still on them, they've been rewarded. But I don't think it's just too difficult to get there, and you wouldn't really want to go there because they blank in 37. So it doesn't make sense now. That ship sort of sailed. But yeah, credit to United. Good, solid performance. And yeah, Brentford, another team on 40 points like Saints. Let's see who comes out of the battle of the beach, I guess, against Saints Brentford.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting game. Personally, I think Brentford will probably do us, given we're away from home. But I think this was just a bit of an off day for them.
Yeah, very much
then.
so.
Should we have a quick discussion about how we got on this week then, mate, before we jump on to a quick look ahead to the double, and then we'll wrap things up?
Yeah, so a very good week for me. 70 points,
nice.
Which gives me a sort of 50k green arrow to 118k.
Good man.
I might be able to squeeze into the top 100 before the end of the season.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed indeed. 38 points from Son as captain, 8 for Kulusevski, 5 Cancelo, Saka 4, Prowsey 5. It was a shame to bench Laporte, but didn't fancy the double up. And yeah, very happy with how this week's gone.
Good man. Obviously wildcarded, as we've spoken about. Needed to be done because I'm bench boosting next week, and you can't wildcard and then bench boost in the same week. So I got 54 points in the end. Most of those were actually scored on Saturday. Not a lot came on Sunday. I think it was Saka's 4 points. I think Saka's 4 points were the only points that I picked up. And then obviously I got Pookie off the bench for Trent. Annoyingly, Richarlison then stayed cemented, which was a shame, but it is what it is. It saw me go from 28k to 25k, so I can't really complain, and it sets me up nicely for this week with 15 doublers, and I'm definitely bench boosting.
Yeah, I bet you're looking forward to that.
Yeah, I am a little bit worried that some of these players might only play once, but looking at them, I think I've generally gone for ones that can't really be dropped, but it's always tricky. The reason I avoided someone like Maddison, and I mean, I'm tempted. I could still go Coutinho to Maddison, for instance, this week, but it would feel slightly wrong given I'd want to get Coutinho back in 37, and I'm concerned again. Thursday, Europa League. I think Maddison's probably more likely to miss out this weekend. Again, if he then plays 120 minutes on Thursday. We saw that this weekend. It was spoken that he has a niggle. They'll want to protect him, particularly if they get through. So, yeah, I think other than Schmeichel, who I've got, I think Leicester potentially too much of a risk for me.
Yeah, I'd agree with all of what you just said there. I don't think it's worth going there now.
Nah, definitely not. Quick question then, James, before we wrap up. Who's your captain for this week?
I don't think I've decided.
It's tricky, isn't it?
So obviously everyone's got 2 games. We've got decent players to pick from, and at the moment it is on Son, but it could quite easily change. I may even bring in Edison and captain Edison.
Okay.
He should play both games.
That'd be a punty pick.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, obviously I'd be relying on 2 clean sheets, which I think could happen. Newcastle and Wolves. I feel like Wolves' clean sheet is more likely than the Newcastle one, actually, the way they've been playing.
Yeah,
but
I think
chances are I'm probably going to be on Son or Salah, but
I think
maybe
Edison
Son.
you'd be limiting yourself. Honestly, I'd only expect him to get a maximum of 12 points across the 2
probably
games.
save a pen now.
Well, probably, yeah. He'll probably save a pen, get 3 bonus points. I've nine
Score,
nine
get an
saves
assist.
against that new, yeah, and then he'll take a penalty for City. But no, I think for me at the moment I'm between Salah and Foden, but I'm trying to protect the fact that I'm hoping to get my best ever rank. My previous best was 44k. I think I've got to go Salah, just to protect against him going absolutely fucking mental. So
Yeah, yeah, he could hurt you, I
yeah,
guess.
he
Yeah.
could massively. His EO around my area, I'm expecting to be close to 200% in this double. So
So you're going defensive rather than really trying to
yeah,
drill down.
yeah. I mean, in the one cash league that I'm in, streets ahead. Obviously, you're in that one as well. I think you're
Hey,
second. You're not catching me, but well, you might. You never know, but I doubt it.
doubt it.
And then yeah, so I think I've got nothing really to play for other than trying to maintain that PB, and I think it'd be stupid of me to go all out on a Coutinho or a Foden captaincy for one of them to miss out on one game. I think I've just got to stick with Salah and then hope the rest of the bench boost can, boost those points.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
All
Be
right then.
interesting to see how my team gets on against yours, 11 against 15.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to be an interesting game week and obviously a bloody long one because I think it doesn't finish until Thursday the 12th. And then
Hmm.
immediately you've then got, yeah, the Sunday the 15th of May as
Yeah.
game week 37. So yeah,
I guess it's more 22 against 30 as well.
yeah,
Scary.
yeah. We shall see. Well, hopefully that's give everybody a bit of food for thought. It's been some enjoyable listening, and once again, apologies for the lack of content over the last few weeks, and fingers crossed this pod comes out okay. But yeah, I've had a real nightmare with my computer. Um, as always, then, mate, it has been an absolute pleasure, and it is a goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
Cheers, guys.